I've covered my fair share of investigations, and once you cover enough of them, often they all kind of blend into each other. But this investigation into the assassination attempt on Donald Trump is a very unique investigation because I feel like most people, including myself, we feel as if the people who are investigating this situation are responsible for this situation, or at the very least, they're responsible for allowing this to happen. So even though this may be one of the biggest news stories we've seen in our lifetime, no one really cares about the answers that are going to be provided by the FBI and by the government once they get done conducting this investigation. No one cares what they find or what they say because we don't trust them and we feel like they had their hands all over this anyway. Also, I think it's weird that there seems to be an extreme lack of interest in Thomas Matthew Crooks. It's been a while now, folks. Can any of you all legitimately say that you've seen a clear picture of Thomas Matthew Crooks? A recent picture? You can't. You haven't. It's like this dude almost didn't exist. Where are the paper trails? Where are the digital trails? Why haven't we seen social media posts? Why haven't we seen, like I said, an actual legit photo of this dude and how he looked currently? How come we know certain details about him from when he was 10 years old, but we don't know what he was currently doing with his life? Like I said, I've covered my fair share of investigations. Usually, when there's someone who did something like what Thomas Matthew Crooks did, usually they're the focus of interest. Usually, these people sometimes even gain like cult-like followings online, people who obsess over these people and finding out about them and things like that. Thomas Matthew Crooks, it's almost as if he never existed. And no one seems to be focused on finding out anything else about this guy. The story's kind of just blown away with the wind because of everything else that's going on. But we did get an update recently that 5 Secret Service agents have now been placed on leave. And my question is, why? I get that y'all placed these Secret Service agents on leave, but why did you do it? What did they do to cause you to do this? And do you think that we should, I don't know, are we supposed to be pleased with this? Are we supposed to think, oh yeah, you're doing your job now. Thank God you sent those Secret Service members home with paid leave so they can hang around their families and get paid for doing zero work after they damn near allowed Donald Trump to get killed. Great job. I don't know what they expect us to do with this information, but I want to go ahead and roll this news clip. Let's find out a little bit more about what's going on, and then I'll be right back with more thoughts.
All right, we've got some breaking news to get to. Multiple reports this morning saying 5 Secret Service agents have now been put on leave following the shooting at a Trump rally in Butler, Pennsylvania that happened in July. There has been extensive scrutiny on the Secret Service for their handling of the shooting and the events that unfolded that day, and how this deadly attack was able to happen and how equally important it can be prevented from happening again. Joining me now, Donald Lane, former Secret Service agent for George Bush Sr. and Bill Clinton. First of all, anything more you can share on the reporting out there that 5 agents have been put on leave?
No, I'm getting the information probably, the same time you guys would be getting it. So, I have nothing else to offer other than that, this is not all that surprising. I would have expected this at some point during an ongoing investigation. The Secret Service would be in the middle of their mission assurance investigation. And so, it's not uncommon to put folks on leave while you delve through various issues with those individuals.
There's still so much, Donald, that we don't know about that day. I mean, for instance, why the event was still allowed to happen now that we know they knew about the threat from Iran, they knew about the suspicious individual. Why is there still such a tight lid on the tragic events of that day?
A tight lid in terms of the investigation?
Correct.
Yeah, I think that's just common. I think what they're trying to do is get a baseline, get the information. If you start divulging information out into the public, sometimes it can corrupt investigations, allows people to get ahead of certain issues. So you want to keep a tight lid on that, so you're getting as much of the truth as you can out of the folks that you're talking to.
Without speculating too much, 5 suspensions of individuals, how high a level does that likely go when it comes to who was responsible for what that day?
Well, it looks like the highest level right now is the special agent in charge of the local field office there in the area. That would be, the highest level at this point. I think the other 4 members are agents. It looks like 1 from the president's detail, and I think 3 from the local field office, and then the 4th one would be their boss. So right now it's at the special agent in charge level, it would appear.
And how does that impact the day-to-day, given the fact that the security level is heightened? Donald Trump is now attending events behind a bulletproof glass, which is not custom for someone who is not in office right now. They're already dealing with staffing issues to remove 5 from the immediate security detail.
Yeah, I don't anticipate it being a huge issue. This is a very small number of folks. You can reassign folks from other areas of the agency and put them on protection to fill the slots that are being lost by these folks being, on the beach, so to speak.
The Secret Service is an incredible organization filled with people with a lot of experience doing a job that nobody wants in the face of danger every single day. But this is a big stain. How do they build back the public's trust and confidence from this?
Yeah, it is. I mean, the Secret Service is filled with wonderful, wonderful folks. I think the important part here is for the investigations to be very transparent, to get Americans need to know what happened and why it happened. And from there, it's simply a matter of moving forward to ensure this doesn't happen again, having the right folks in place in management to make sure that these issues, these events are thoroughly vetted, that there are no holes anywhere in the security plan, and that there are no problems like there were in this one for sure. But I anticipate the agency will bounce back from this. You're right, it's comprised of wonderful men and women, and I have no doubt that they'll be able to overcome this problem.
What do you foresee happening out on the campaign trail between now and November at some of these long outdoor rallies that are planned?
Well, you're going to see a lot more, I think, than what you have seen. Typically, the president and the vice president and their families get, the full coverage, so to speak, of protection. I think you're starting to see that now trickle down with candidates and others. And that's not because, one's more important than the other. Of course, the president's very important. It all has to do with the intelligence that you have surrounding these issues. And so now, the bulletproof glass, I think, is a really good idea. I'm glad they put that in place. That will help for the outdoor rallies especially. And I think you'll just continue to see them ramp up protection around these folks with more personnel moving forward.
So here's the way I look at things, folks. These Secret Service members who were placed on leave, they're nothing more than sacrificial lambs. The Secret Service director who resigned, a sacrificial lamb. They think that every couple of weeks they can throw out information like this and we're supposed to be happy because they've sacrificed a Secret Service agent for us, right? It's like they're throwing them into the volcano or they're offering them to the gods. And this is what they give us in exchange for not asking any more questions. They're like, hey, hold this person responsible. Hey, look, it's this person's fault. It's that person's fault. Meanwhile, they're not telling us anything about Thomas Matthew Crooks. Meanwhile, we have yet to get a valid explanation as to how this happened, even though they knew Thomas Matthew Crooks was there. They watched him. They observed him. They knew he was a problem. They have yet to give us any explanations about any of this. But every now and then they're going to pop out and say, hey, we fired this guy. We fired that lady. Hey, aren't you happy that the Secret Service lady resigned? No, I don't care about all of that. Because at the end of the day, it's all show. It's all for show. A lot of these people, like I said, they're still going to get paid. the Secret Service director that stepped down. They'll find another high-paying position for her. She'll go be the lead security for Pepsi or Doritos again, like she used to be. These people fail upwards. So that's not enough. We're gonna fire 5 Secret Service agents, or we're gonna place them on paid leave. That's not enough. No. Someone died. 2 other people nearly died. Trump nearly got his head taken off. I need to see more. I need to hear more. I don't care about the disciplinary actions that you're taking on these grown-ass men and women who are in the Secret Service. Okay? This is not elementary school. I don't care that they got detention, or they got suspended, or they got a freaking timeout or a slap on the wrist. No. I need answers. We need answers. And we need to see that there's an interest in really finding out the truth. I don't see any interest in that. I don't. Even within the general public, the average person has moved on. They don't care anymore. And because of that mentality, that's why they're capable of so easily pulling off stuff like this. And that's why this is going to happen again. Why wouldn't this happen again? Who was really held accountable? Has anything been done to ensure that this doesn't happen again? Has there been a message sent to the people who allow things like this to happen, to not allow something like this to happen again? No. If anything, we've given them the go-ahead to, hey, try this again in a couple of months, because people will just forget about it and move on. But that's where we're at. 5 Secret Service agents placed on paid leave. And we're supposed to cheer and clap. Yay, finally, some accountability. No, screw that. But anyways, let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell. And if you find yourself getting too worked up by all of this, remember, it's just political cinema.